I arrived in, what month was that? It was probably August of 2009. And so that's actually winter there. So it was actually kind of cold when I got there. And I remember my first experience, we went to the mission home um, and we just got settled in a little bit. But then all the trainers came in. It was a big intake. There's probably like, I don't know, maybe 20 elders that came in, so it was pretty big. And yeah, all the missionaries started talking with each other, and we were trying to find out, who's going to be your trainer, and we're trying to guess. There's only like two missionaries that actually spoke Spanish, and I was called Spanish speaking, so I'm like, well, it's probably going to be one of them. So I was pretty confident, and I remember one of them was from Spain, and then another was actually, he was an Aussie, but he spoke Spanish as well because his parents were Spanish. And so secretly I'm like, oh, I really want the Spanish guy so I can like learn the language. And luckily I did. So so Elder Guevara was his name. So he was my first companion. He was trying to learn English. So he would only speak in English to me, which was kind of a challenge because I was trying to learn Spanish. But he's like, no, you can't speak English to me. You only speak Spanish and I'll speak English to you. So that was kind of a challenge. But my first area was right in downtown Sydney. So it was an interesting experience. I mean, my first thoughts when I got my mission call was, it's Australia. It's going to be full of Australians. But when I arrived in the city in downtown, I realized, like, where are all the Australians? Everyone was Asian, basically. So Sydney's just a huge melting pot. A lot of Asians, the Chinese, Japanese, Thai, Vietnamese, everything you can imagine. And so I remember that was a big shock for me. I was really excited though to be in Sydney because that's where the Opera House is. So I'm like, oh, I get to go visit the Opera House. So that was pretty cool. Um, but my first week in the mission was probably one of the most stressful. Uh, I remember just my first day there, I had super bad like jet lag because the flight's like 16 hours. The time difference is really weird. So I was really tired, and my companion was just like, go, go, go. Probably the hardest working missionary that I ever had. And he's just like, okay, go talk to people. And I'm like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. And so he's like, okay, well, we have English class that we teach, and so just hand out these English class flyers. And I remember like the first day or two, even handing out just English class flyers, I was just terrified. I was terrified of talking to people, and I was like, oh no, like, what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. I can't even talk to people. I was so nervous. And so I remember, especially that first week, just praying a lot, praying my heart out. And miraculously, I got through it. And I started handing out flyers. That was my start. And then all of a sudden I was talking to people, and it was no problem. So I remember that first week, really hard. But when I got down on my knees, then that's when things started to get easier.